Good morning. This is Kamera again. We're on day 59, Deuteronomy 3 and 4. Yesterday we started Deuteronomy. We covered 1 and 2. And what sticks out to me mostly about yesterday's lesson, at this time, you know that Moses was addressing the children of Israel, giving them a recount of their journey. And one of the things that sticks out to me is he mentions how when the children of Israel got to the promised land in the beginning, how he listened to the people and sent out the scouts to scout the land. Now, when they first got there, Moses told them, go ahead, take it. This is our God has given it to us. But what gets me is that when the scouts came back, they were discouraged. And they discouraged the rest of the children of Israel. And so I thought about that thing, how when we go in faith, we shouldn't have to look at, what we're about to face, because if we look at what we're about to face, it can truly discourage us. Sometimes if we think our trial's going to last more than a year, more than 2 years, more than a month, more than 5 years, and sometimes our trials can last a long time. If we knew our trial was going to last that long, it would have discouraged us and we would have turned back. But by going through those trials, not just in faith, they allow us to grow, to get to know God even more. And so what happened was, even if that battle's going to be short, sometimes we just say, we don't want to do it, if we know that it's going to be rough to obtain what God has for us. And so I look at that and I'm like, if they would never have sent out those scouts, then the children of Israel would have gotten to that promised land in like no time. Instead, they got discouraged, rebelled 40 years. Isn't that something? So Moses, in today's lesson, Moses is still addressing the children of Israel and reminding them of what God had done for them. And the last, yesterday we talked about how the children of Israel had destroyed King Sihon of the Amorites and destroyed everything and took their plunder. And now we're talking about how the children of Israel took King Og of Bashan, and they destroyed about 60 towns, and no one survived. No one, no women, no children, no men. Everyone died. And it talks about how the plunder, they received the plunder. They kept the plunder. They kept the plunder. They kept the livestock. Yeah. And so once they destroyed everyone, King Bashan, King Sihon, and all of their lands, Bashan and Og, and just destroyed them. The lands were given to Reuben, Gad, and half of the tribe of Manasseh. And so God reminded them again, once you guys aren't going to stay on this end, you tribes of Reuben, you fighting men of Reuben, you fighting men of Gad, you fighting men of half the tribe of Manasseh. You're not staying here and allowing your brothers to go and finish this battle. You're going to help them obtain their land. You can leave your children, you can leave your wives, you can leave your livestock here on this side of the Jordan, but you're going to have to go and help your brothers obtain their land. And once they have theirs, then you can come back to your land. And so, yeah, that's what they were instructed. And Moses is giving a recount of that. He also mentions when he talked to God, he pleaded with God to allow him to at least go on the other side of Jordan to see what God is going to blessing the children of Israel with. God said, no, enough. No, you're not going. And so Moses said, yeah, basically, I can't go because I allowed you guys to get to me. And so, yeah, God tells them, no, just, commission Joshua to lead the people. And you can go to this certain area. God told him to go to this certain area, and you can look out to see what they're going to be blessed with. But you are not going on the other side of Jordan. So, yeah. And Moses tells the children of Israel during this address that they need to remember where God had brought them from. Remember what happened at Mount Sinai. Remember God spoke to you. Remember he appeared to you in fire. Remember he took you from a land and made you his own, and he's taking care of you. Remember the signs and wonders. Don't ever forget these things. Don't allow yourself to forget what God has done for you. And remember those commandments that he wrote on those tablets. And then it was at that time he commanded me to teach you guys his decrees and his regulation. Don't ever forget those things and pass those along to your children. And get this, as you're going into this promised land, keep in mind, always remember who God is. Always remember what he's done for you. Always remember. Don't allow yourself to forget, and you guys will be blessed. Now, if you guys forget and you allow yourself to serve idols, if you allow yourselves to just completely disobey God and his decrees and his regulations, you guys are going to lose everything. You guys are going to lose everything. Okay, so don't participate in idolatry. Don't forget God's decrees and regulations. You are going to be good. Obey him. And he reminded the children of Israel who he is, who God is, everything that God had done for them. And all the promises, decrees, he reminded them of those things, and he stressed who God is. He stressed what God had done for them. He stressed, don't forget. And you guys, you really want to take the time to read that. Read it. That was Deuteronomy 3 and 4, especially in 4, where he talks about who God is. Yes, Aiden. I'm going to get to you in a minute, buddy. In a minute, my grandson. So I do suggest, guys, read that. Read the promises of God. Read them, read them, read them, read them. And that's basically what he talked about. He even told them, I love that part where he says, search the history. He says, search the history. See if there's any God that could even compare to God. And again, he recaps everything God has done for them, who God is. So, and he tells them, he said, God is in heaven and on earth. Yeah, so I can go on and tell you what the scripture said about who God is, what Moses told the children of Israel, what he reminded them. But I'm telling you guys, go back and read that. Deuteronomy 3 and 4. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, yesterday I really thought about how the children of Israel, how they were okay until they sent those spies, those scouts to scout out that land. Their journey could have been done in no time. You know that what happens, 40 years in the wilderness. Guys, just walk in faith. Trust God, knowing that everything's going to be okay. We don't have to know the future. If we could just trust God that we're going to be victorious and walk accordingly, just keep your eyes on that. God said, I'm going to be victorious. Walk on that. You don't have to see every minute. When you look and see, and we can lose faith just by knowing what is about to happen, what we're going to come against. I thought about that thing. So again, read 3 and 4, guys. In fact, read all of Deuteronomy. We're only on 3 and 4. So we read 1 and 2 yesterday, 3 and 4 today. Good stuff, good stuff. Again, we're on day number 59. So, yeah, some good stuff. So I encourage you to read it and get to know God. Watch his character. See why he does what he does. And that is it. Day 59. Deuteronomy 3 and 4. God bless.